And watching a young man who was born in Chicago and raised in that area win gold medals in gymnastics at the Olympics. His name is Bart Conner. He was a member of the 1976 Olympics team, the youngest member of that team. He's a member of the 1980 team that never got to perform because of our boycott. And then in 1984, he came back after incredible injuries to join the team and become part of the gold medal winning team and win a medal for himself in the parallel bars. And he's right here in AM Philadelphia this morning. Please welcome Olympic gold medalist Bart Conner. Pleasure to meet you.
Bart, good to see you, too.
Let me put a little mic on you here for the moment. Phew. You still get winded after how many hundred years of doing this?
Oh, lots of years. I don't know if I should say in the hundreds, but 17 years I've been doing gymnastics.
You know, it was interesting. We were watching them put together the pommel horse when you first arrived. I didn't realize that those handles are just an addition to the horse and that they actually are very mobile.
Yeah, they actually use the vaulting horse and pommel horse. They're exactly the same, except for they tack on the pommels, and what you do is move the width depending on your shoulder width so they fit you.
Oh, I had no idea that it was even an adjustable.
Work it out with you later, so we'll find your appropriate width later.
And this all started out with a little boy who liked to stand on his head.
Yeah, I was upside down most of my early years, and we had a park in front of our house, and that's where I started gymnastics, on the monkey bars, swing sets. In fact, we could do where we'd swing up on a swing set, right as you get to the top of the swing in the front, you'd flip out and do a backflip, and our whole front of our house was glass, and my mother, I used to see her in the living room going like, oh no, look out. We were pretty wild.
Which takes us all the way through, following that career logically, all the way through to that gold medal winning moment. And you've done it years and years and years and years, but when you're there in the competition and you're really on the line, and every single moment of your training has led you to this moment, what's in your mind? What goes through your mind?
First of all, you're scared to death.
Are you really?
I think, yeah, it's amazing. You know, one thing is important is you know you're going to get nervous. I think if you don't get nervous, there's something wrong with you.
Sure.
The trick, though, is to channel that nervous energy and what I call focus it in, focus your attention right on what's happening. You know, in the arena, there's a lot of people, there's television cameras, there's a lot of distractions. And if you can take that energy, all that you have, all this, you know, extraneous energy, and put it into the performance and get the strength out of that, you can feel very strong. I felt on parallel bars, for instance, when I got into the finals, I felt like this is amazing. I mean, I felt very strong and very much in control. And I'll tell you, it's not easy to do. I was in the floor exercise finals, for instance, and I think I was a little caught up in all the pomp and circumstance of the whole Olympics, and I didn't really focus in, and I didn't do very well. So I got my act together after that. So, wait, I got one more event to try and get a gold medal, and that was the parallel bars. And if I can focus the attention, and it worked.
We'd love to see you focus some of this award-winning attention on some youngsters who are here from the Olympiad Gymnastics Club in Wilmington. And they are 3 young gymnasts, and let's meet them. Come on out, little girls. This is Amy's son. She's 6 years old. Jackie Lau, who's 7, and Michelle Wright, who is also 7. And when you take a look at little Amy, you should know that even though she's 6, she's already been doing gymnastics for 4 years. Bart, what would you like to do with that?
Well, I think one thing that's very important is we're all finding out after the Olympic Games, so many people are getting interested in the sport of gymnastics. Everybody says, hey, that was pretty neat at the Olympic Games, and we want to get involved. And so many of the gymnastics clubs have doubled and even tripled in size with young kids getting involved in the sport. And we're pleased with that because we know gymnastics got a very positive boost this summer. What I'm trying to do in Bart Conner winning the gold is talk a little bit about the direction of gymnastics for young people getting involved in the sport right now. Very important, of course, in all exercise is the warm-up. And so what we'd like to do is have our girls, why don't you come out here and spread out on the mat evenly. That's fine, okay. How about, you can be right back here, Rochelle. Face this way. You can face this way, face this way. You guys, okay, now what we're going to do, of course, you got to get warmed up. And I've already done a little exercise, but let's just jump up and down a little bit. Maybe do some jumping jacks. Okay. Okay, and once you get warmed up, you might want to jog a little bit. You want to loosen, you know, swing your arms around, get nice and loose, bounce around, be relaxed. Okay, now we're going to do some stretching exercises that are very important through all gymnastics. First of all is the hurdler stretch. Let's go down with one leg extended and one leg bent. Very good. Okay, now you want to switch. Why don't you go to this, Jackie, why don't you go to this side? That's it. Jackie, straighten this leg here. There you go, and bend the other one. There you go. Okay, good. All right. And then next, go back and forth. See if you can go back and forth without putting your hands on the mat. A little tricky. It's good for strength and flexibility. Amy, is that hard?
No.
Okay. Okay, now put your legs together. Heels on the mat if you can. Good. Hands flat. Bounce up and down. Now, extend straight up, straight legs, and keep your hands on the floor. Liz, can you do this one?
In high heels or without?
All right. Very good. Okay, now bend your legs again. Now,
I'm not limber anymore.
Okay, now, oh, these guys are pretty limber, aren't they? Now put your feet straight out in front of you. Arms to the side, back straight. Now pull forward and grab your toes. Try and put your nose on your knees.
Bart, do you have to start as a small child? Could I, if I was crazy, conceivably start this at age 33?
Well, actually, you know, for the kids who are really getting involved in elite level gymnastics, most of them are starting 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, right in there. I think what's happening, though, is we're finding out that a lot of people want to do gymnastics just for the enjoyment of it generally. And maybe they want to learn back handsprings so that they can do, for the cheerleading squad tryouts or something like that. And they don't necessarily are interested in competing collegiately or in international competition. So you can start at any age, no problem.
Oh, okay.
Okay, after we're there, good girls, very good. Now sit back up, arms to the side. Now you want to straddle your legs as wide as you can. That's good. Now over the top, put your hand in, very good. Pretty loose little monsters, aren't they?
We have a picture of you, and you are a pretty loose little monster. Let's take a look at the screen, because
Well,
you will
let's
see the young Bart Conner out in the yard. How old were you there, Bart?
Oh, I bet I was about 11 years old. That was a set of parallel bars that my parents set up in our backyard. Good
Listen,
form, huh?
Can you take us through a couple of tumbles with these little ones
Are
before
you
we
guys
go to
ready?
a break?
Are you pretty warmed up? Okay, let's do it. Come on down to this end. Okay, why don't you go first? Of course, the first basic element in gymnastics is the forward roll. Why don't you just do a couple of forward rolls? Very good. Okay, thank you. Go ahead. Nothing to it, right?
Ah.
Liz, it's a good thing you wore a dress today, so we won't have to ask you to do it.
That's why she wore a dress today.
We would like to learn so much more from you, and maybe we'll see a little bit more of these little girls from the Olympiad Club. But we're going to take a short break and continue then with Bart Conner, Olympic gold medal winner in gymnastics. You stay with us. And his personal work on the parallel bars. And he's here with us in the studio and also talking about how he became an Olympic gold medal winner and the advice he has for young hopefuls in a new book that he has written about his experiences. And it is called Bart Conner, Winning the Gold. And it's got his formula for success, not only technical success, but inner success. And right now he's here with 3 young girls from the Olympiad Club in Wilmington who are going to get some instructions from the best there is. What are you going to take them through, Bart?
Well, now that everybody's warmed up, I think we're feeling pretty good, aren't we, girls? Yeah. Good, good. Okay. We're going to do some more advanced tumbling. Why don't we start with a cartwheel? I'll do one first, okay? Just a very simple cartwheel. Go ahead. Why don't you do 2 there? You can fit a couple more into that. Very good. Okay. All right. Now, once you can do a pretty good cartwheel, you know how to do a round off, of course, don't you? You do just like a cartwheel, and you put your feet together and land rebound. Just like that. Go ahead. Very good. Okay.
Bart, what are you looking for as they do this?
Well, first of all, what kids need to develop at this stage is a little speed and momentum so they can do some of the more advanced tumbling skills. What I'll do now, girls, if you give me just a little room here, I'm going to do a round off back handspring, okay? Once you get a good high rebounding round off, then you can reach back into the back handspring like this. Woo! Very good.
Thank you very much. here. They make it look so easy. Thank you, girl. They make it look so easy. What about the element of fear?
Well, I think everybody has to be cautious in gymnastics to a certain extent, but one thing that's important about our sport is if you learn the proper fundamentals and the basics as you go along. It looks like a triple flyaway, for instance, off the high bar is a scary move.
Yeah.
But if you've been doing a flyaway and a double flyaway and building up and using spotters and good coaching and good supervision, you can develop the comfort all along. So a triple flyaway isn't any scarier than a real flyaway.
I am so excited. They brought along something I have never touched. This is what's gold medal. Let's take a at it because it is a beautiful, heavy, symbolic thing, which is just as beautiful as it could be. Where can I show this? There, you can get it.
I think it looks pretty good around your neck.
Isn't that nice? This is the only chance in the world I'll get to win an
Now you're supposed to
Olympic
go like
gold.
this. Very low.
Maybe Olympic gold for talking. Let me ask you, a lot of people have not really remembered the fact that you got to even petition in the 1984 team. What was the story?
Well, I think that was probably one of the most rewarding things about the Olympics for me this year was the fact that 7 months before the Olympic Games, I tore my bicep competing in Japan, and I had to have surgery and then try to get in shape in 5 months in time to make the Olympic team. So normally I qualify first, second, maybe third on the Olympic team. This year I qualified 6 out of 6 guys. I just barely made it. But I knew if I could make it to the team that things were going to be good in L.A. I had a good feeling about what this summer's Olympics meant to all of us, and it was even better than we ever imagined.
You had to go through a lot of rehabilitation in a very short amount of time. What was that process like for you?
Well, actually, what happened was once I tore the bicep, you can go ahead and have it reattached, but the trick is to not let it atrophy too long. Even though you can't get on the apparatus and work the full exercises that you've been doing, you have to go back and not let the rest of your body wither away while your arm is trying to heal. So it was a close call. It usually takes about a year to recuperate from a torn bicep, and yet we put it together and made it in record time.
Congratulations. We have some questions from our audience members.
That's 2 of the young people in our audience today. Let me ask them 2 at a time. Okay, your question?
Yes, Mr. Conner, I would like to know how it feels to be nationally known.
And to the lady to your right.
Mr. Conner, I'd like to know, when you were younger, was there any great fear of getting seriously hurt?
Well, first of all, I'll go with the question of nationally known. Of course, we had all hoped that one day gymnastics would be at the level of some of the other major sports where the athletes are recognizable and supported worldwide. I remember a few years ago, we had the national championships in the East somewhere at Syracuse, I think it was. We had 200 people in the audience for the finals. And now we do an exhibition or a show, we get the Olympic team together, and it's easy to sell out 16,000, 17,000 people. So it's very rewarding to be a part of that. Of course, you mentioned about serious worry of fear. You know, when you're a little kid getting involved, nobody has any fear at all. That's what's so neat by seeing these little monsters come out here. They can do stuff that it took me 5, 6 years to learn. They can do it in 1 or 2 years. So the techniques and the training for the young kid is very safe right now, and if you're in a good situation with a good coach, you can progress very rapidly without having to worry about dangerous skills.
I was curious about whether it's a good idea for parents to build their own apparatus. Obviously, it didn't hurt you.
Well,
But
actually,
is it smart to build your own parallel bars?
well, actually, what we had, those parallel bars were loaned from the local high school, and so they were an official set of parallel bars. We just finagled to getting them in our backyard.
Okay. Another question from the audience.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Conner, do you plan on competing in the 1988 Olympics?
You know, I've thought about that a lot because I have been in the Olympics. This was my 3rd Olympic Games this summer. I was in '76 in Montreal. I made the team in '80, but of course we boycotted the '80 Olympics, and I stuck around for '84. '88, I think, is too far away for this kid. I'm going to back out the side door. I think it's probably appropriate for me to look for an appropriate way to exit from competitive gymnastics and continue to go around promoting the sport through exhibitions instead.
How about acting?
Acting. I have done some acting. It's
Yes,
great.
I know.
I didn't think I would ever do anything like that. If somebody said, after the Olympics, you want to be an actor, I'd go, yeah, right, I'm sure. But I've had an opportunity to do some things. The whole men's team did an episode of Different Strokes. I did 2 episodes of Highway to Heaven with Michael Landon and a television movie with Penny Marshall called Challenge of a Lifetime. And since then, I've signed contracts for 2 feature films that'll be shot this summer.
Oh, great.
And released. One will be released late August called Looking Good with Paramount, and it's about 3 college guys go to USC. Has nothing to do with gymnastics at all. So that'll be a nice opportunity to work completely outside of my sport.
So at 27 years old, you're going to play a college student again. But does he look 27? No. What a great pleasure to meet you and an honor. And thank you. And thank you for bringing the
Nice
medal
to
along,
see
letting
you.
me wear it. What a great experience that was. Bart Conner. And stay with us as AM Philadelphia continues. More is coming up.